Hi there, welcome to Yin Yoga, doing about 55 to 60 minutes, focusing on long hold stretches. And this helps to release energy and send extra circulation around the body. We hold each pose for about 3 to 5 minutes. So I've got my egg timers tonight, I've got one for 3 and one for 5 minutes. Anytime the stretch doesn't feel good for you, come into either, I'll give you a couple of options just in case before we start. So this is Caterpillar, where we have some cushions and we're just resting our head on the cushions. So if you like to stretch your hamstrings or your back, Caterpillar. If you want to stretch your hips and it feels okay, you can stretch in child pose. So those are the basic options, just in case anything we go through tonight doesn't feel good. So Yin's nice when it's warm because it helps us to cool down a bit, because we're not moving about so dynamically as in Hatha yoga. So we're going to start in butterfly, which is the soles of the feet together, and then either chest forward and keeping a bit more yang-like, we could draw the feet closer into the body, keeping our chest forward and our face forward. We could try and draw the knees down towards the floor and feel the stretch, quite a deep, intense stretch in the inner thigh area. For a more yin-like butterfly, we take the feet further out and allow the crown of the head to come down towards the floor. Maybe rest the head in cushions, which could be resting on the feet. So we want to settle in and decide how deep we want the stretch, how intense we like to feel the stretch, and just kind of go with the flow and maybe go to our edge in a deeper yang-like stretch to start and create that deeper intensity, flexibility, or it's up to you. You could go more even, keeping the feet close in and rounding the head forward. So we're going to hold the first pose tonight for 5 minutes, which is our butterfly. And then if you like, after a couple of minutes, maybe go a little bit deeper, see if you can push a bit further. But we only want to make the intensity about 6 out of 10, because we're staying in the stretches quite a while. So if it helps to go deeper, you could first of all close your eyes, and then you can focus on the sensations inside the body. Close, go deeper. You can also try to concentrate on your breathing in and out through the nose. As you're breathing, you could focus on the sensations of the body moving on the inhale. So the body sometimes expands on your inhale and then releases and relaxes on your exhale. It's quite nice to try to extend your exhale, and this helps the relaxation response a little bit and helps us to relax deeper if we try to just really concentrate on lengthening the breath out. So we're about halfway through. So maybe take the feet further apart and see if we can fold forward a bit more. Maybe bringing your head down towards the feet a little bit more, or down towards your cushion. So ready to come out from butterfly slowly. So walking the hands back up, lifting up slowly. So we've done a forward fold there, or what we call a forward bend. So that helps to soothe our nervous system. We've also internally rotated our hips, so now we need to do the counter pose, which is the windshield wipers, to get the external rotation in as well. So we have our feet apart, knees apart, taking the knees to one side, knees to the centre, and knees to the other side. So nice and slowly again. This is what we call the rebound. So in the rebound, it feels good sometimes to come out of the yin and basically notice the energy as it circulates. So sometimes we get energy stuck in the different organs or in the different joints or muscles. So this helps to release energy. So it might feel energizing, you might feel a bit more refreshed. Okay, so next we're coming into the deer pose. So the deer pose is the left shin towards the front of your mat and the right knee back. And if it feels okay, you can have the legs at a right angle and shift a little bit, so you're not leaning over to your left. Try to shift a little bit and then walk the hands just in front of your left shin. If you need to, you could bring a cushion over just underneath your left glute, and that will help to lift you up taller. Then we can walk the hands forward. So we're going to stay in deer for 3 minutes. And as we go through the time, we can keep our hands pressed into the mat. We can bring the hands in a little bit and think about posture. Also increase the intensity in the outside of the right hip. You can come forwards over the left shin with your elbows. You can stretch the hands forward. And if you wanted to, you could add a twist. So twisted deer is just walking your hands over, so it's over now the left thigh. You could even bring your elbows down. So a stretch for the spine and a twist for the spine. And then either focusing on sensations in the body, in whichever version you've gone for, or focusing again on your breath. So we want to lift up slowly, press into the hands, work our way back to the centre, and then windshield wipers again. So feet apart, knees apart, side to side. The more we can take the feet apart and the knees apart, the better internal and external rotation we'll get in our hips. And then we're going to go into deer or twisted deer on the other side. So over the right knee this time, so right shin. So again, might just need to bring a block or a cushion underneath our right hip to give us a bit of a lift. Going to hold again for 3 minutes. So we can have our hands, we bring our hands close in, quite a stretch for the front of the body. We bring our hands further away, bring our elbows down. We just want to be careful that there isn't any pressure going into our right knee. And if you want to, we can make our way into the twisted deer. So now rotating the body and the elbows over to the right. And lifting out slowly, take your time, coming up to seated again, and then coming to lie on our backs. So if you have a belt or a scarf handy, we're going to loop that around the soles of the feet and take the soles of the feet up towards the ceiling and just relax with the legs in the air. If you've got a ponytail, just release the band out so it's not crunching into your head. Try and bring your chin towards your chest, or rest the back of your head on a cushion so the neck isn't constricted at the back. And we're just going to stay here for 3 minutes with legs in the air. So great for our immune system, great to soothe the nervous system again, great for our back, as it releases and melts down into the floor, bringing the back into its natural alignment. So if you don't want to hold onto the belt, you can take the hands behind the legs, interlocking the fingers. Again, closing the eyes if you like to go deeper within. Focusing on your breath, breathing in and out through the nose. It's quite nice here to focus again on your exhale, extending the exhale. Feel as though each exhale you're releasing and relaxing deeper. About 3 more deep breaths. And if you're holding onto your belt or scarf, releasing the knees, bending the knees, bringing the knees into the chest, maybe knees side to side, just extending both legs along the floor, stretching out both legs and feet apart, small toes out to the side, palms at the side with the palms up, and notice the energy in the feet, in the legs, noticing how the legs feel, how the back feels. Now bring both feet together and stretch both arms above the head with the deep breath in. Really point the fingertips away, feel the whole body stretching. Breathe out, bring the arms down, and slowly draw the knees into the chest again. And we're either going to take the knees down to the side and bring yourself up slowly, or roll up to seated using the abdominals to lift you up. So now coming into Sphinx on our front, and we'll add a few variations of Sphinx. So if Sphinx might be a bit intense for your back, you can either go into the child pose, or that forward bend, or the crocodile, which is resting your head on your hands, just taking the big toes together and heels out. So this is a very gentle version of Sphinx, because you're still getting a gentle back bend, but it's not as intense as Sphinx. So for Sphinx, doesn't matter if the feet are together or apart, and it doesn't matter really where your elbows are. They can be underneath your shoulders, they can be further away. So where you place your feet and your hands doesn't matter. You can even lift the feet up for a deeper stretch in the front of the body, deeper extension in the back, so you'll be compressing your back and strengthening your back. So we're going to hold for 5 minutes, maybe adding some shoulder opening and chest opening at the same time. So if this feels too gentle, you could go into the seal, which takes the hands out to the side with the arms straight. So an even deeper back bend, you're bringing the hands closer in. Oh, that's too much like the circus for me, so I'll take my hands away. And I don't really like staying in seal too much. Feels like it's too deep for the disc. So I'll go back to Sphinx. So the experts say that if you can only fit 2 yin poses in each day, the best ones to do are butterfly and Sphinx, because they're the best ones for our back and our hips. Obviously the butterfly will stretch out your hips, which links to shoulders and knees and ankles, and the Sphinx undoes all the sitting around that we do in our everyday lives, on our phones, with our neck forward and our shoulders a little bit rounded. So I like butterfly and Sphinx. So if you feel like you could do with some stretching for your shoulders, we can add the bow tie to the Sphinx. So stretching the right hand in front, stretching your right fingertips with the palm down, right fingertips over to the left, and left hand kind of underneath left fingertips, stretching over to the right. And then you can rest your chin or your cheek on your right upper arm. And here again, you can close the eyes. Help you to relax a little bit deeper, even though it might not feel very relaxing here. About 6 more breaths this side. lifting out slowly, pressing into the elbows. Then we need to change sides, so this time the left hand's in front, stretching over left fingertips to the right and right fingertips to the left, and this time resting your chin or your cheek on your left upper arm. So the further we can stretch the fingertips away, the more we'll be opening our shoulder blades. We can even try and edge the elbows away a bit more and then bring the hands down and lift the hands up, holding onto our shoulder blades behind, edge the elbows away and then bring the hands down. And 2 more breaths. And bringing ourselves out slowly, walking the elbows closer together, coming back into Sphinx, and then we come out really slowly from a 5-minute Sphinx, because like I said, we've compressed our back, so pressing into the hands or pressing into the elbows, lifting the hips off the floor into tabletop. And the counter pose here, usually for Sphinx, is some cats and cows, so we're lifting our tailbone up, lifting our chest forward, and then turning the tailbone under, and then feel the ripple as you arch the lower back, the middle back, and the upper back, pushing the mat away, chin towards the chest, and then slowly adding some more cows and some more cats. So the breath in as we lift up, and the breath out to arch the spine up. Maybe one more, lifting up, breathing in, and breathing out. Now here for a stretch for the back and the shoulders. So this is a melting heart or puppy dog. So here, I just need to tuck my t-shirt in. So here, again, there's a couple of options. So we can bring our elbows down, and we're just trying to walk our elbows forward, but keeping the hips so they're in line with the knees. We can rest our head down onto the floor, or we can thread our hand, so our right fingertips underneath, and bring our right ear and our right shoulder down, and stretch the left fingertips forward. So we're going to hold about 10 breaths in each side. And then lifting out of this side slowly, so pressing into the left hand, lifting up. Again, you could go back into the full melting heart with the head down towards the floor, and you're trying to bring your chest towards the floor, melting your heart towards the floor. Feel the opening in the armpits and the chest and the shoulders, or you can now thread your left hand under with the palm facing up, and then here bringing your left ear and your left shoulder to the floor. If you're doing this version, we'll hold for about 10 breaths again. So lift out slowly, press into the right hand, then coming back to the full puppy dog. So walking the hands forward, hands about shoulder width apart, and just try and melt that heart down towards the floor again, resting the forehead down on the floor. Just holding here for about 6 breaths. And then walking the hands back in, pressing the hands into the floor, lifting up, and coming onto our bottom. So we've done quite a lot of back bends there, back extension. So we'll go into another forward fold. So here we have a couple of options for our legs. So we can do half shoelace or half saddle. So I'll just show you half saddle first of all, so you can try that. So we're drawing our right foot so it's backed by our right hip, and our left leg is forward. And here you can choose to either lean back on your elbows, even lean back on the cushion. So feel the opening in the chest and right quad, or coming forward over the left leg. So it's either you want to feel a stretch up your left hamstring and your left calf, if you want to do the forward fold, or you want to feel the compression in your back and the stretch for the front of the body. So it's up to you. This one, the one where you're lying back, is quite intense. So I'm going to fold forward, and I'm going to rest my head on the cushion, which is kind of on my left knee. We're going to hold for 3 minutes. So again, this, if you're doing the forward fold, helps to soothe the nervous system. Also, as we're folding forward, we're compressing our digestive organs, so we're helping to stimulate the digestive system, unblocking any blockages. Sometimes this helps for if you have indigestion. So you could have, if you're in the forward fold, you can have your hands at the side, or if you can bring your elbows down at the side of the legs. So press into the hands to lift up slowly. And then from the same position, if you want to, you could try a bit more of the going back, or now we can bring our right foot over our left knee and we can sit up tall, or we can bring the right knee so it's in line with the left knee and take your right ankle more by the side of your left hip. And again, you can fall forward, resting your head on the top knee or a cushion on the top knee. So again, more of a stretch now. If you're in this one, in this version, more a stretch for your left hamstring. Or you could stay with the knees in the shoelace and go back, or you could go back to that right foot by the right hip. So 3 minutes in those various options. It's up to you. Because I feel a bit looser now, I'm going to go back into half saddle and lying back, taking 2 cushions behind to rest my shoulders and my head, and the arms out at the side. And lifting out slowly, so whichever version you're in, pressing maybe into your hands. If you're in the reclining version, maybe stretch out the right leg first and lifting up, and then just a couple of inclined planes, so lifting the hips up, looking up towards the ceiling, release down, breathe in to lift up, breathe out to come back down. And then opposite side, so first of all, left foot by the side of the left hip. So here I'm going to bring a cushion just underneath my right hip or my right glute, and then we can again fall forward or take ourselves back. So I'm bringing that underneath my right hip, because if I don't, I'll just lean over to the right too much. So I want to try and give myself a bit of a lift. And then we're going to come forward, if you like, in half saddle, or go back. It's up to you. So it feels too intense for me to go back straight away, so I'm going to come forward a bit, going to get the cushion to rest on my right knee. A quick word, if that doesn't feel good, you could bring your left foot so it's coming into, the sole of the foot's coming in towards the right thigh, which is more like a half butterfly. So just in case the half saddle doesn't feel quite right. So lifting out slowly, and then again the option of half shoelace. So this time we bring either our left foot over our right knee and sit up tall and hold the left knee in towards the chest. So stretch for your left hip and your left glute, or both knees in line with each other with your left heel by your right hip. And again you can come forward, cushion resting on the left thigh, head on the left thigh. So this is a more intense stretch for your right hamstring and your right calf. Or leaning back, reclining half shoelace, or going back to your half saddle for that deep stretch in the left thigh. With the half saddle, you can have the knees together or the knees further apart.
lifting up slowly. If you're in half saddle or half shoelace, stretch out the left leg and lift up slowly, and then lying down on your back and bring both knees in towards the chest, knees side to side, massaging the lower back, and then extend both heels up towards the ceiling, stretching out the back of the legs. Maybe give the hamstrings or the calves a gentle rub, brisk rub, and knees back in towards the chest. And lifting up again slowly to seated. So here we're going to do a few of the poses that we've done tonight. We're going to do them with at the wall. So great for our backs. I'm going to roll my mat up twice and take it so it's to the wall, and then taking the hips some kind of at the side, and then I'm rolling round to take my back from the floor and my legs up the wall. So I'll give you a couple of options, but we're going to hold for about 3 minutes each postures. We've got 2 more postures, and I'll give you a couple of options for 3 minutes for the first one. So it's either keeping your legs up the wall or bringing the feet into the butterfly, which is the soles of the feet together and the knees out. So holding either legs up the wall or butterfly. Try again to feel as though you can gently release all your back, so it's releasing down and melting into your mat. The chin comes towards the chest and the back of the head is resting on the floor. You can have your hands on your tummy here, so you're noticing that the tummy is expanding on your inhale and releasing on your exhale. So we're working on full diaphragmatic breath, helping to increase our lung capacity, helping to reduce heart rate, reduce blood pressure, working on our rest and digest system. Next option for 2 poses that we haven't done tonight. So it's straddle, which is the feet wide apart, So we're getting a stretch in our inner thigh area, our adductors. So the more we take the feet apart, the more intense the stretch will be, or the reclining figure four. So for this one, you will bring your left ankle over your right thigh, keeping the right leg straight at first, pushing your left knee away and drawing the right foot down the wall to make the stretch more intense for your left hip and your left glute. So either straddle or reclining figure four. If you're doing the figure four, we'll hold for about 6 breaths or about 1.5 minutes. If you're doing straddle, we'll hold for the full 3 minutes. I'll tell you when we're halfway through if you want to change sides with the figure four. So either staying in straddle or lifting the left ankle off the right thigh, stretching the left leg up the wall, right ankle over left thigh, right knee pushes away, and then left foot walks down the wall. Try to keep your tailbone pressing into the floor if you're doing the figure four. And slowly releasing, stretching both legs up the wall, feet are together, and we bring both knees in towards the chest, hugging the knees in, knees side to side. And taking our knees down to the left hand side and stretching both hands out to the side with the palms up or down, looking over your right fingertips, and hold here for 6 breaths. Bring our knees back to the centre, And take our knees down to the right hand side. And stretch out the left fingertips, right fingertips, looking over the left fingertips here. 6 breaths again. And slowly bring our left hand to join our right hand, and just pause into your right hand side. And bring the left hand, press into the left hand. 2, lift up slowly. 2, kneeling or seated. And thank you for joining. Hope you enjoyed, and see you again soon. Thank you. Bye everyone.